Hey, good morning. It's Mike here. I'm in LA, roaming around, looking at filming locations of Reservoir Dogs. There's a lot of good videos on filming locations of this movie, but I always wanted to check it out myself. So join me today, and as you can see, or probably not because of the perspective of how we're shooting it, but this is one of the iconic scenes from the movie's opening credits right behind me. But join me today, Reservoir Dogs filming locations. Right up there is the apartment building. So remember that. If you watch, if I show you the video right now, you can see them walking and you'll see that building up there. Let me see. Let me get up there. It's as far as I can get to it. Right there. And then if you could go down, right in here is where they're walking. Let me go on the other side and I'll show you. So coming down here, it's all gated up. It's closed. I guess it used to be a bowling alley and a restaurant. So darn it, the wall's so high now. They must have added on, but up there, right over here, this section here, this is where they were walking. That infamous walk before the heist, right there. Such a iconic scene, you know. If you look when they're walking facing this building on this side, just right over here, you can see this building's visible as they're walking down. And of course, the cars are parked right here, right in here. Again, right here is the location. This is a spot, man. We're still here in Eagle Rock, and of course, not too far from here is the scene of the opening sequence of the movie in the credits where they're walking out of the parking lot. Well, this is the actual parking lot, but this is the world famous last breakfast scene, I guess you can say, with the dogs. Pat and Lorraine's omelet house. I'm about to have breakfast here and savor the moment. Some Hollywood history right here. Alright guys, this is what it looks like today. There's some videos that are recent that have shown this spot, but the chairs are still the same. The wall has changed a little as far as what the decor is. Maybe that's been there, that's still there. There was a pole that's no longer here. And then if you look on this side up here, these pictures are actually still the same, but this is where the dogs were sitting. You got Nice Guy Eddie, you got Joe, you got Mr. White, you got Mr. Orange, you got Mr. Brown. On this side, you got Mr. Pink, Mr. Blue, Mr. Blonde. Right here. I'm about to have breakfast here. The world famous Pat and Lorraine's omelet house, but also known AKA Dog's Last Meal right here. I'm geeking out right now. Big time. I brought some company. They're kind of laughing at me because what I'm saying, but dude, this is awesome. All right. Hey guys, good morning. I had to get here a little early on this scene because this place gets a little crowded, but well, it gets a little crowded in the later parts of the day, but I don't know if you recall this scene right here. Of course, this is the Mr. Pink chase scene or getaway scene with the shootout with the cops. Of course, we know Mr. Pink right here pulls the lady out of the car, fires away at the police in that direction, and of course he gets away, takes off down this street, turns down that corner. I'll take you guys down there. But right here, this is the spot. It's no longer a notary. It is now a cafe. Of course, this wasn't here, but if you look there, that's the same window there where, or I guess you could say same window in the scene, which you really don't pay attention to, but you line up the shot, it's about right there. Again. Now, the chase scene is around a corner, and from the perspective we see in the movie, he's coming down like this in the chase scene. But in fact, I will take you guys there. We'll go down that way, and I'll show you I'll show you where actually the chase scene, where the run scene was, where he's running from the cops down the sidewalk. Let's go, I'll take you right over. Right here again, police were hiding behind this corner here, this wall, with the shootout. And again, we look at the perspective of him running down the sidewalk, coming down this side, but in fact, movie magic, Mr. Pink is running that direction. And let me take you to the spot and show you how I know that. Right down here. Going down again, we're thinking that Mr. Pink is running this way, and the cops are telling everybody, hey, get out of the way! Get out of the way! But in fact, the way they shot it and where they shot it, they're shooting it from this direction on the other side of the street, and they're running opposite side. Let's go down here. So it's going to be 5033. Now the businesses are closed. Shoot. Okay. Well, I'm kind of learning this with you, but this building here, it's a pawn shop, but it, you know, obviously it's closed. But if they open the gate or the locked door, I guess you can say, if they were to open that up, you would be able to see the two windows and the door. And back then it was blue. And this is where Mr. Pink throws one of the pedestrians that was walking on the sidewalk on the street. He falls, he gets up, and he runs back this way. This is the location where they're running, right through here. So they're running down like this. And it's the opposite side of where the building is, or the cafe where the shootout was. So we think that he's running this way, but in fact, this is the actual location. Again, I came here early because later in the day, this place gets really crowded. And if you can recall, when the police are right here and they're shooting out with Mr. Pink on this street, this area here was a gas station. But right on this corner right here, let me just get in here, give you the perspective of how they were shooting. And then of course, Mr. Pink is on this side shooting back. And in that area there, that was the gas station. And of course, Mr. Pink takes off in the car that he just stole, and he goes right down this street here. All right, on to our next location. Guys, we are here currently in Highland Park. Looks like they're doing some type of power line fixings there, I guess from the Hurricane Hillary or Tropical Storm Hillary. But if you look on this angle here, you can see this alleyway, kind of a retro looking alleyway, but this is Highland Park, some old buildings there, someone walking through there. But right over here, we're gonna take you to a spot, if you guys can recall here, in Highland Park. Morning. So we come down here, again, this is an alley in Highland Park. Right over across this way is Figueroa Street, and it's an intersected alleyway here. But another famous scene of Reservoir Dogs takes place right here. And I will line up some shots for you guys. Coming this way, alleyway goes out there. Again, turning around this side, got alley here, and another alley that way. But on this angle, let me get this right here. Right about here, if you guys remember in the film, this is the spot where the car of Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown was driving, comes across, turns here, comes in here and hits the parked car right here. And this is where Mr. Brown gets shot and he dies at this location here. Let me let this gentleman pass. Police car's about right here. Mr. White, I believe, is like right here. And then Mr. Orange is just watching them about here. If you can see it at this angle. Again, Mr. Brown's car right here. And if you go down here when they are trying to get away, they go down this alley. And if we come down this alley here, they keep turning behind them. They're rushing, trying to get out of here. Actually, there's helicopters right now, but I don't think they're after us. It's kind of a ways too, this walk. It's not a short walk through this alley. It's kind of a long alleyway here. So I'm kind of speed walking. When we come down this alley, both Mr. White and Mr. Orange are right down here, and they stop the car coming over here, pull their guns out. Lady stops. Mr. Orange comes around right about here. She shoots him, he falls, she shoots her back. And that's when you get the opening sequence of the movie where he's all bloodied, but it was from this wound, or a gunshot wound he sustained right here from that lady trying to carjack her. And then again, the perspective of the alleyway from this angle. Pretty awesome. All right, guys, so there's been videos on this location already where this is actually the warehouse. Probably the bulk of the movie was filmed in this place, this spot right here. What to say about it? There's so many famous scenes in this location. It's a car that wants to let me. She stopped in front to make sure she wasn't messing up my picture. But anyways, I can line up the shot and I'll show you guys to our left here. These buildings are still the same. And you know, we know this is the spot, but if I'll show you an image right here that shows these buildings the same as being the same location where the warehouse was. And this was an old mortuary at the time. Again, maybe I'll give you guys this angle over here. Forgot to do that. But if you look on this side, of course, same house. And then they walk out of here to the parking lot there, and they take out the cop out of the trunk, and that's the same house there. This light post is still here. Again, the cop gets pulled out right there. And another scene that you really don't recall in the movie is when they open the door, when Mr. White is pulling in Mr. Orange, and the door opens. You could see a man, maybe one of the production workers, pop out, and then he jumps back in. And I'll show you that clip. All right, guys, only fitting. See the palm trees there, and we are on Sepulveda Boulevard here in South Bay, or Manhattan Beach, South Bay region or location. And if I turn to my right, this is where the man, the creator, changed Hollywood in a lot of ways. The way we watch movies and listen to dialogue, that was video archives. It's been modernized and updated. Video archives no more. All video stores no more, pretty much for that fact. But right here, popular bagel spot. Wrote the script for Reservoir Dogs while he worked here. I thought I'd just come by just to check it out, just to be in the area where it all started. Manhattan Beach, Sepulveda Boulevard, South Bay.
For many years, since I couldn't get anything sold as a writer and couldn't get any money made to direct any films, that was like that store was my one source of artistic expression. Buying the right films, recommending the films. I even used to have these little mini film festivals in the store because I had like the shelf, not a shelf, a few shelves, all right, that were mine. And every week, what I would do is I would do like a new theme. I did my own little heist film section, and I remember like looking. I'd seen most of these before, but I remember like looking at them all up on the shelf, and I remember thinking to myself, "God, they haven't done a heist film in a long time. I'd like to see one of those again. This is a really cool genre, And so, so that put the germ in my head, So then I wrote.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?